Greetings and welcome. Today we're going to be going through some heart-opening exercises. So we're going to begin this time on our belly. Come down onto the belly and take the palms, place them right along the shoulder line and pull the elbows into the body. Point the feet behind you, and just as when you're in mountain pose, there's an internal rotation here. Now place the elbows under the shoulder. This will already begin to engage the back bend. We press into the palms, press into the fingers, press into the thighs, pull the lower belly in, lengthen through the spine, drop the shoulders down, engage the core. Inhale deeply, feel the ribs expand as you inhale, keep the shoulders broad and down away from the ears, and breathe here. And you'll take the appropriate number of breaths here. I'd recommend between 5 or 6 to 10. Now after you've finished this pose, the Sphinx pose, come back down onto the arms, and the next pose will bring us with the arms alongside the body. Palms are facing down, and this is going to bring us into our half locust pose. Point the toes behind you. Now as you point the toes, press into the hands, roll the shoulders open and lift the chest as you lift the feet. And there isn't much weight pressing on the hands here. You're really just using them to stabilize, and the weight here is being bared on the hips. So roll the shoulders back, squeeze the thighs, squeeze the legs toward each other, squeeze the thighs, the toes toward each other, squeeze the hips toward each other, lift the chest, and then as you exhale, release down, crossing the hands again. And now, for the full locust pose, we're going to interlace the hands behind to get a good little preparation here. Inhale, lift the chest. Pull the hands back as though somebody was pulling your fist behind you. Inhale, lift the chest, lift the feet, point the toes, squeeze the thighs toward each other. Breathe through the nose here. Keep pressing the hips down, keep pressing the thighs up and together. Breathe deeply through the nose, and then release the posture. Come down onto the chin. And finally, we fly and soar like Superman. Inhale, lifting the chest and the thighs, engaging the thighs massively, drawing the shoulders back and down away from the ears. Broaden that space between the hips and the ribs. Contract the muscles of the back, and then release down. Cross the hands. And take a few recovery breaths here. And now we change orientation. So press into the hands, come up onto the knees. And we're going to come to the center of the mat. And here, we stand up on the knees. Now, you may want to fold your mat under your knees or get a blanket or a towel or something if you're having discomfort when you stand in this position. Now bring the thighs toward each other massively. You're pressing your entire shin right down to the front of your feet, down into the mat. So that full length of the shin becomes the standing leg. Squeeze the thighs together, roll the shins toward each other. And we're going to go into our camel pose. Inhale deeply, lifting the chest, dropping the shoulders, keeping the ribs in, but pressing the hips forward. Place the hands right at the root of the thumb, pointing up. Place it alongside your sacrum. This protects the sacrum and encourages your hips to press forward. Keep the hips squeezing toward each other. Keep the thighs squeezing toward each other. Keep pressing into the toes. Inhale, lifting the chest. Before you even sink your head back, keep long in the spine. We're getting as much length as we can while we press the hips forward. Continue to breathe through the nose. And when your hips are as far forward of your knees as you can get them, then you exhale and release. Inhale the head up, just to prepare. And now on your next exhale, inhale, lengthening through the spine, dropping the tailbone down, shift the hips forward and reach for your heels. If you can't reach the heel behind you, then curl the toes under to raise the floor. Otherwise, just reach for the heels, one hand at a time. And when you get to the heels, squeeze the hips toward each other and press the hips forward. Squeeze the thighs toward each other, press the hips forward. Breathe deeply through the nose. Lengthen the space between the hips and the ribs. Be long in the spine. And then when you've done the appropriate number of breaths, shift the weight into one heel, release the hand back to the sacrum, and then the other. Tuck the chin in and come to rise. First variation. Now, if you were able to accomplish this, we're going to deepen this stretch a bit more. So you inhale deeply through the nose. Now we're going to press the hips forward without the assistance of the hands on the back and place the hands in front of the body, in front of the heart center. Squeeze the thighs toward each other. Press down firmly into the toes and into the shins as you press the hips forward and firm the thighs. Inhale, the hands come to rise. Exhale, and the hands come behind you. Keep the hips forward. Keep the chest up. And then pull the hands back to the heart center, tuck the chin, and come to rise. If we want to go a little deeper, this may not be suitable for everyone, but if you feel prepared, once more, inhale, this time with the hands behind the back again, pressing the hips forward, lengthening through the chest, squeezing the thighs toward each other, open across the chest. And this time, instead of reaching for the heels, we're going to reach for the knees from behind. But you have to be massively pressing that hip forward. Press the groin forward, the lower part of the pelvis. Then replace the hands behind the hips. Tuck the chin and come to rise. Woo! Yes. Inhale and exhale, sit up on the heels. And for the final heart opener, we come down onto our back. We'll begin with a bridge pose. And in this bridge pose, you are lying on your back, the knees are bent. The back of the neck is long, so the chin has begun to press toward the throat. Now pull the heels in as close to the sitting bones as possible. Extend the arms alongside the body. Press into the feet. Feel the connection of all the toes, the outer edge of the feet, and the heels as they press. Inhale. And as you inhale, begin to lift the hips up, creating enough space so you can interlace the hands under the back. Now roll the shoulders open and squeeze them together behind you, all the while tucking the chin into the throat, lengthening the back of the neck. So you are on your shoulder, not your neck. Now inhale and press into the feet as you lift the hips up, squeezing the thighs toward each other. Deeply inhaling, all the while squeezing the shoulders, breathing deeply through the nose. Hold here for the appropriate number of breaths. Pressing into the feet, pressing into the shoulders, pressing into the forearms, and then release the hands, and then release the upper back, mid back, and lower back down. Now, if this was available to you, and you'd like to try to go a little deeper, then once more, in turn, I want you to take your palms, place them behind your shoulder so your fingers are pointing down toward your body. Now, as you press into the feet and lift the hips, get onto the top of your head with an inhale. Now, once you're on the top of the head, you're going to take the hands, the palms behind the back of the head and interlace the fingers here. Now, press the forearm toward the mat so the elbows come down toward the mat. We do so by pressing into the feet. So we're pressing the forearms and the feet, coming into our forearm wheel. Breathe here, squeeze the hips toward each other and lift the hips up. Then place the hands beside the head, tuck the chin, drop the upper back, mid back, and lower back down. Good. And while we're still here, we take the hands as we did before, internally rotate the palms. So the palms are flat behind the shoulder blade, elbows are squeezing in. And this time, we're going to do a full wheel. So to do this, we press into the hands and feet. Inhale, lifting the hips and coming onto the top of the head. But this time, we press further into the hands, keeping the knees toward each other, toes turning in, elbows squeezing in. Inhale, press into the hands to rise. Breathe here. Press the chest toward the arms. And then to exit the pose, come down onto the back of the neck, upper back, mid back, and lower back. Then let the arms come alongside the body, extend through the feet, and come to final relaxation. To come out of Shavasana at all times, remember, bend the knees, pull them into the chest, roll over onto the right side, and when you're ready, press up with the arms to come to an upright seated position. Thank you.